All right, so basically, Prismatic second wave allocations slashed once again. I think a lot of people right now are starting to talk about Journey Together and thinking that it is going to be Prismatic 2.0. Hello, everybody. My name is Jacob, and I am a co-owner of Blue Mist Collectibles, and hopefully, you'll enjoy this new filming spot. So, let's talk a little bit about this topic. What are some of the major reasons and allocations are being cut? Rather, so some of the reasons that these allocations are being cut for a lot of people is because it's clear that we didn't get a really good printing. I think is probably the first thing that we should probably talk about. Um, so basically, what happens is the way that they plan out these different sets that are coming out. And this is for all TCGs, really. Is that they schedule these things out 3, 6, like sometimes years in advance, and so they actually continue to print to what they think is the demand is going to be for the next set. They try to get some ideas from like the local stores. They get some ideas from the big box stores of what they want. And then they kind of go off the numbers that they had from previous years and they try to kind of base it that way. And this is kind of like something to also think about. And maybe they've started using these tactics. I honestly don't know. All we know is there wasn't really a big printing, in our opinion. Some of the other major reasons the allocations got cut is a lot of these other stores and shops and LGSs who don't normally carry Pokemon are now carrying it. I even heard that like Ace Hardware and other stores like Menards, like are carrying Pokemon products, and so a lot of these different places that don't normally get these Pokemon products started like jumping in once all of the hype with Surging Sparks and Prismatic Evolutions now Journeying Together coming out. I think a lot of these stores kind of jumped in on the bandwagon. And then on top of that, we also, you guys remember, we had the release of the new Pokemon game, right, for the phone. So that also increased a lot of hype and excitement around Pokemon. So we have a lot more collectors now, like in the mix. So that's something that you got to consider. So really, ever since the release of the Pokemon card game for the phone, which is basically Pokemon TCG Lite, basically. We've had an increase of all of those things all put together, and all of those things that factor in created the perfect storm, which is what we're in right now, where you can't literally get anything anywhere. So that kind of sucks. So looking at our allocations for Prismatic Wave 2, it's actually abysmal. It's actually worse than the first time. We at least got some stuff from our wholesaler, which of course we were very grateful for. But unfortunately, we're not going to have a lot coming in for that. We're getting some trickles here and there from other places that we are purchasing, but we're just not going to get a big lump sum that we were hoping. And it's not their fault. It is what it is. It's the market that we're in. And honestly, I don't think a lot of people realize that was going to happen with all these things that are kind of put together. So that's something to think about. Also, we're seeing what we believe is an influx of purchase bots. Now, a lot of people have talked about this, where um, a new allocation or a new influx of product comes in on like a big box store or on on another website that's selling things, LGS, an online shop, kind of like Blue Mist, and all of a sudden they're just bought out in like seconds. Um, so unless all of those people knew that something was going to happen, a lot of these drops are not like, advertised publicly. They just kind of go up. And I know there's like different circles and groups that people are in, and they kind of jump in on those onlines and grab them. But it's just really interesting when like the notifications go out and it's just bought up instantly, which is really, really strange. It's really, really interesting. Um, Talking about Rudy from Alpha Investments, talking about how his allocations for Pokemon and Magic recently, he's selling like thousands of boxes within like 15 minutes. So I think it's a combination of possibly some people are creating little purchase bots that are doing this. It's very possible. I mean, I wouldn't think twice if somebody said, "Hey, by the way, these are out there." I mean, it just kind of makes sense at this point. But also just with all those different factors, it just makes it absolutely crazy. What are some of the problems we are seeing at LGS's big box retail stores and kiosks? I know a lot of people are talking about these different videos that are floating around. Not only are people buying, like sitting on kiosks while there's a line of people waiting and just buying out pretty much the whole kiosk of anything that's really of, incredible value, because people are selling them at MSRP, so people are just grabbing everything they possibly can. But there's also been some fights and actually some physical altercations at like a Costco, or Target and things like that. I think for the most part, I think the vast majority of people are being pretty good about it, and I think um, it's overall doing well. But there are some instances where it's just been absolutely crazy and wild, and it's just something that we're having to deal with as collectors, and it's just kind of honestly, it's sad for this industry, and I kind of hope we get to the point where we're not having these issues. The only thing is that the way that TCGs work, like I was saying before, it could be 3, 6, 9 months, or even like a year before we get like a really good influx of that set that just sold out super duper fast. And even when it does come out and all of these printings are reallocated, it's going to drive the price really far down, I think, and it could potentially collapse the set. So that's something that they got to think about. So all in all, I don't want to be in Pokemon's shoes right now. This is just kind of interesting seeing how things are going. I think it's also starting to trickle into other TCGs. I think that especially some of the good sets that are coming out with stuff like Magic the Gathering, stuff like Flesh and Blood, stuff like Lore Arcana is going to be coming out here pretty soon. I think it's going to start trickling over because you just can't buy Pokemon anywhere. So people are just going to start buying up all that stuff. Okay, let's talk about this really quick. Let's talk about scalpers. Also thinking about where it actually came from with basketball, baseball, football games where people would buy tickets and they'd stand outside and sell them. So they didn't really want to buy them to go experience the game. They would buy them just to get that quick buck, that quick flip. I don't know. I think I'd rather call them flippers because they're only after the quick flip. They're not really interested in collecting Pokemon or investing or collecting or anything. They're just in there for the quick buck. So I don't know. I think I'd rather call them flippers if I really sat down and thought about it. But you know, this is where we are today. There's also some videos floating around on TikTok and Instagram and in YouTube it's showing different shop owners that are you know getting that quick flip in and going to big box stores physically to buy stuff. But we're going to continue to try to get allocations for Pokemon. We're definitely going to go a lot harder into Pokemon Japanese here in the near future. So we're really excited to find a Japanese wholesaler that's not pushing their prices up to market value, basically, and no room for any kind of people to make any kind of money. So we'll just kind of see how that goes with that. But yeah, we're just going to keep trucking along. We're just going to keep going. We'll just continue to expand, into Magic the Gathering, Lore Arcana. We'll probably do Digimon as well. We also have some opportunities here in the near future to get into Flesh and Blood, among other TCGs that seem like it makes sense for us business-wise. So we'll just keep you guys posted. We'll let you guys know. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, my name is Jacob. Check us out, bluemistcollectibles.com. Buy our stuff. We got stuff on eBay. We got stuff on TCG Player as far as singles are concerned. Not only do we have sealed product, loose booster packs, we also have Vault X and BCW products in our shop as well. So check us out, and we will see you all in the next one.